All right, so I'm having trouble remembering where I left off because I have been delayed on putting some videos up on the website, my blog, due to the crazy firewall in China. My mom and I have been super lucky to have a way around it due to those ExpressVPN apps. But either way, the Wi-Fi here in China isn't that great. So we got scammed in Beijing. Really, it's just a comical story now, but it really did kind of suck, and it put a damper on my trip to Beijing. I was pretty angry the night that I realized what was happening. So if you guys know me, when I get pissed, yeah, I was like that level angry. And I was talking about how I was gonna like slap them and punch them in the balls and all kinds of things. My mom and I took a sleeper train from Beijing to Shanghai, and she was such a trooper. I'm really glad that we did it because it was an opportunity to understand and see the culture of China really to its fullest. It was a really cheap way to get to Shanghai. It was $40 per person, and you sleep in these cars that have three beds on each side, and you're all on top of each other. And just the railway station itself was so crowded. I mean, there was hundreds of thousands of people. It felt like you basically have to go through more than airport security to go to board the train, which just felt kind of violating. And then when we were boarding the train, you know, it's chaos. Nobody speaks English. Like, I'm not kidding you. There's no one here that speaks English. And we're walking past one of the cars, and there's this Asian man, probably in his early 30s. People have boarded less than 5 minutes between then and now, and he's already stripped down, fully naked besides his underwear, and his underwear are the size of whitey tighties, but they're these brown kind of dirty looking cotton ones, and he's just like spread eagle, like just there. I can see everything. And I remember I look at my mom and I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? And sure enough, that's our car. So yeah, I slept on top of that guy. And the first hour of our train ride, Mimi is literally just sitting in her bed, giggling to herself. Just like could not stop her laughter. It was so funny. All kinds of weird stuff happening on the train. There was people eating like octopus, and honestly, I think they were eating like chicken feet and what have you. But we made it safely, and we actually slept really well. So, given the circumstances, it was a fun experience. Out here in Shanghai, it's been completely different than Beijing. I feel much more at home. It feels like kind of a cross between San Francisco and Tokyo. I'm finding that I was in Tokyo, I was like, oh, it's not that crazy there, but I kind of see the perspective now of like a really big city like Tokyo, which is really crazy, lots of lights, tons of nightlife, to a place like Shanghai, which is really large, but there isn't really as much nightlife. So we've done a variety of things. We've walked the Bund, which is the riverfront, a couple times day and night. We've had dumplings multiple times. We just got back from a soup dumpling and kind of gyoza spot. And then additionally, a recommendation from my friend Carrie, we went to the Shanghai Acrobatic Troupe Show over in the Shanghai Circus World. We kind of got lost on foot trying to find this large building, which was kind of frustrating, but we finally found it. And it was really, really cool. There were multiple acts with male performers doing different things, jumping through hoops, and then seesaws, and then, you know, people jumping off the seesaw 5 people high. And then additionally, their closing out act was, what was it, 8 motorcycles? 8 motorcycles in this like big aluminum wire dome, and they're all riding their motorcycles in the dome, which is just crazy. The other really fun part about traveling is getting to see and meet people, or meet up with people that you didn't like expect to. So I had that random run-in a couple weeks ago with my coworker from Nordstrom, and then additionally my mom and dad had reconnected with one of my dad's employees when he was at Hewlett Packard. Her name's Ai Wu, and I remember her a little bit from my childhood, but she often traveled with my dad, and she'd bring us back back all of these different like pirated and counterfeit goods from China, and I remember thinking it was so awesome. If you guys knew me when I was in like elementary school and middle school, our family had tons of pirated DVDs, and that all started from iWoo. So we had dinner with her on our first night here in Shanghai, and then we're also going to have brunch with her tomorrow, and then heading out tomorrow night to Taiwan. And we have about 5 days there. The trip kind of slows down from here on out, so we'll have 5 days in Taiwan, and then we actually have, I think, like 7 nights together in Hong Kong, and I actually have a few more nights after that by myself in Hong Kong. But it's been really fun. My mom and I are learning a lot about each other. We just were having a conversation about if we're actually more similar than we think we are, or if we're more different, because we seem to be butting heads about really similar things that actually don't matter at all. But if you know my mom, she's an awesome person to travel with, and she's a good time. Yeah, she's been a trooper, and it's been fun. And we have a really cool hotel. If you come to Shanghai, ask me for the recommendation, because I do like this hotel. The service has been really great. There's tons of unlimited water bottles, and the bed is comfortable. Really, and our wallpaper is really cool. It's Chairman Mao, I think.
Yes.
So the Great Wall was still our highlight so far for China. And we're looking forward to Taiwan. It's going to be about probably at least 8 degrees, if not more, warmer, in the 60s, closer to 65. And we're going to go to one of the national parks out there. So hopefully you guys are having fun following along. I have multiple videos to get up, so I'll do that once I'm out of China and the firewall is not putting a damper on our social media. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.